At Toolangi in the foothills of Victoria's Yarra Valley, beside the upper reaches of the Yea River, one of Australia's most famous poets, C.J. Dennis, made his home. Surrounded by native forest, Dennis and his wife Biddy cleared the land and created what is known today as the Singing Gardens, now a popular tourist attraction. In spring, the huge variety of flowering trees and shrubs are simply magnificent. 100 years on, they have grown and thrived thanks to more than 40 years of dedicated care by the current owners, Jan and Vic Williams and their family. This place is truly unique. It's rare to be able to follow the footsteps of Australian masters in places they created and where they produced their best work. A particular tree close to the native forest is noteworthy, a giant copper beech tree planted in the 1930s to mark a special event. England's poet laureate, John Masefield, regarded Dennis as one of the world's great writers and made a special effort to meet up with him at Toolangi because Dennis was too ill at the time to travel to Melbourne. The copper beech tree seedling was planted to mark the occasion and a plaque records the event. Beside that same tree, the C.J. Dennis Society erected a marquee to announce the results of its poetry competition. The Society's patron, legendary Australian poet, singer and songwriter Ted Egan came down from Alice Springs to open the festival, and President Stephen Whiteside welcomed the audience. Jim Brown, another poet, spoke on behalf of the Bendigo Bank's community branches in the Yarra Valley, who approved a grant to make this festival possible, because in the previous year a freak storm had badly damaged the Singing Gardens, and the festival was ruined when the storm closed roads, keeping the public away. The various poetry categories produced some serious and amusing entries, like this one, Adults Writing for Children, by Stephen Whiteside.
It took a little while for the air at last to clear, but in a week or two the neighbourhood was back in gear, and people still remember how the fart from outer space was battered, bruised and broken by the fart from inner space.
Well, I just have this vision next year of there being 30 poems entered about farts.
Oh, maximum to, oh well, yeah.
Oh, you've got wind of that, have you?
And one there, a redhead on a small and
Some poets came from interstate to read their winning entries. All were of a very high standard, fulfilling the purpose of this festival, to keep not only the works of C.J. Dennis alive, but also to promote the art of Australian rhyming verse and storytelling.
A rotary engine, that all? Mangle and buttons and hooks, and some 8-day clocks, scissors and socks and medical books. Constable Ogg slapped the side of the cart. So you wouldn't mind me having a look at what's under them sacks then, would you?
The competition tries to attract entries from young poets. The judge in the children's category, Dan Spire, explains why he chose the winning entry from Max Bryant, a primary school student.
An outlaw's delight. The loud squeak of a wheel and then a loud squeal. When you see him, your skin will turn white. 10 shiny gold pieces, an outlaw's delight. And I thought that was really, there was no question about that being the winning poem. It was really well done.
The full results of the poetry competition can be found on the C.J. Dennis website, www.thecjdennissociety.com, and also in a booklet published each year with all the winning entries and judges' comments. This booklet has been sold as a fundraiser for the C.J. Dennis Society and again was made possible thanks to the support of the local community branches of the Bendigo Bank. The winner of the open poetry category, the Marion Main Award, was Shelley Hanson from Queensland. On Saturday evening, a stage performance of The Glugs of Gosh, one of Dennis's masterpieces, to mark its 100th anniversary since it was first published. This was well received by an enthusiastic audience.
He learns a lot of things in 6 years with a tart.
The next day, the opportunity for everyone to take part in walk-up performances of their favourite poems in the tea rooms, and this revealed how much talent is out there in the community. The 9th 2017 C.J. Dennis Festival was a great success, but without the help of the Bendigo Bank's community branches, it could have been a different story.
Hi, I'm Jan Williams and I'd like to thank the Bendigo Community Yarra Valley branch of all of the banks for their wonderful support for the 2017 C.J. Dennis Poetry Festival. Without your help, we probably would have gone belly up, because last year we lost quite considerably because of the amount of storm damage on our property. So thank you very, very much, and we have used your money wisely, we hope. Thank you.